Hi, it's Barbara Greenlee with Green Moon Stamp Studio. Today I'm recording a little video to show you some different ways to clean your stamps. All your stamps should be cleaned before you put them back in the case, and there's a few ways to achieve that. So let's get started. So for cleaning stamps, there's a few ways that you can clean your stamps. You can, of course, use a baby wipe. And I'm sure everybody knows how to use a baby wipe, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. Then there's also the Simply Shammy. This is in the catalog. This one is barely used and they dry out. This is one of the ways. It's a good way to go, like if you're going on a craft retreat. You can keep this easily at your work surface. You just use water with it, and this is an empty stamp case, and that's a great way to store it. They dry out in between use, so you have to wet it with water before you use it. And it's recommended that you let them dry out because you don't want anything growing in there in case this is, but I don't think these are very airtight. They're, you know, somewhat, but I've put mine in there and it just let it dry out in there and it was fine. But when you want to use it, you'll want to make it wet. So you can run it under the water in the sink or soak it in something. Takes a lot of water to get it back wet when it's this dried out. So you just rub your stamp on there. And you just rub until you get all of the ink off of there. So that's clean. Looks pretty clean. So that one's ready to go back. Here's another one. I usually dab off on my grid paper to get all the excess ink that's on there. And then again, just rub it around in there until you get all of the ink off. And as you can see, it will stain, but it doesn't pick up the ink that's there. It will just stain and then you're fine. So that looks clean. So that one's ready. So another way to clean your stamps would be to use the Stampin Scrub. So this is in the big catalog. And this one has two pads in there. There's a little indicator on the side, on one side that has drops. So that would be the wet side. And then this little indicator is like a little sun. So this is the dry side. And you would use Stampin Mist with this. And I have the small Stampin Mist. It comes in a larger bottle now. But you will just spritz your pad with Stampin Mist. Again, get the excess ink off. And then rub around in there. And this works a lot faster. And then you dry it on this side. So then you're done. The other thing about using the Stampin Mist is that it will condition your stamps. So if you have, like I have this old dried out looking stamp from another stamp company. And if I use the Stampin Mist on it, it will revitalize the rubber. So now the rubber is not thirsty anymore. It's all conditioned and in better shape than it was before. So if you've got some stamps you haven't used in a while and they look dried out, a little dried and cracked, this Stampin' Mist is going to revitalize them. That's one of the reasons I love this. So that is all I've got for the stamps. And then of course when you put them back in your case, you're just going to peel them carefully off of your block. And then you can wash your block if you've got a bunch of ink on your block. I usually keep rubbing alcohol in my studio because it works really good to just clean the blocks. It'll clean sticky off of there and, you know, any ink that was on there. So now I got a nice clean block. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and please give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll post more. Thanks.